Reciprocity on console. It's 7-5 for Fnatic on Clubhouse. We now head to the third and final map of this best of 3 on Villa. And it will be Reciprocity attacking first with Fnatic defending first, and Fnatic is sick of it with the Jackal.
They went straight for that. That is going for the throat, because that is an operator they definitely use on this map because they want to control roam play as much as possible, saves them from having to do a lot of roam clear. They could focus more on execute. That is again going to hurt their time management. So that's a great pick there. This is an operator that obviously Reciprocity don't want to deal with as well, so they're going to take out the Dokkaebi. Question is, what's going to be their knockout here on the defense side? Mira, okay, that makes sense. They have definitely not been too interested in dealing with Mira in the past. So we'll see if that factors into attacks on Aviator Games specifically. Now we're also going to see the lack of Echo, which means Maestro going to get tons of play here. Of course, this is his map that he made his debut on. Very strong on this map, so it makes sense.
Just getting questions about the double up of the hoodie.
Yeah.
I had to go for a wardrobe change. That's all it is. Don't read into it.
You're just too hood here.
Yep. Hey, the hoodie on top of the hoodie. Villa, round number 1. Aviator and Games Room defense, and wow, I feel like that's a 6-pick.
I don't know. You know, like this is definitely a bomb site. We've seen teams play that, especially on 90. Gotcha, for example, doing that on EG. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, now that they can play the Capitao, it's going to come back out again from Laxing. They're going to have to deal with, of course, not being able to track anyone with the Jackal, though. So that means roams from Magnet could be a bit more problem. Now he's going to probably 6-pick over. Oh, yeah, he's going full roam. He's like, I've been able to get away with roaming on both maps. Let's double down on that.
I was going to say, the Capitao, the Zoe, you see both of those in reveal phase, you get off Clash ASAP.
Well, I mean, and now it's both the Brazilian operators being played, so.
Capitao makes his return in this best of 3. Magnet to the Caveira. And the last time I casted a game on Villa, when there was a Caveira, we ended up with quite the remarkable interrogation clip.
Yeah, there's definitely been a lot more plays from Caveira in the recent history. Seems to be something that more teams are comfortable doing. Also, roam and aggressive defense have become more in meta, so that just gives more opportunity for that to be something that people can get away with.
So Rizraz filling in on where Magnet was playing on the Valkyrie most recently. And seems like he'll be starting over towards Astronomy.
Yeah, we'll see where he's going to move from, because I got to imagine he's going to go downstairs and make sure that they're not able to track him without that Jackal, but I don't know. Sky's already pummeling through the window, trying to get some work done here. Send up Claymore. He's not going to be going to entry frag potentially, but it's interesting to see that he's still going to be bringing out that Zofia again. Something like you mentioned we hadn't seen a ton of, but it is going to be useful for this particular bomb site. Magnet still upstairs, but he is creeping around. He just really wants to hold this side of the map, which is the far side, to make sure that his teammates are covered a little bit better. But now he's got a hatch to drop down, and he's going to do so. Go all the way down to the basement potential. Nope. He's going to sneak around. Now, of course, the funny thing is that they don't actually have to ban the Jackal, because the Caveira is the one counter to Jackal either way.
Yeah, the Silent Step not revealing any of the footprints. So the Valkyrie cameras spewing across the map to try and provide some intel for Magnet to be able to shape his flank, as it will be necessary for him to come in surprise from behind onto one of the members of Team Reciprocity entering the building. And that's also a factor that has not come to fruition yet for Reciprocity. Now, a lot of people inside the building. You got the Capitao of Laxing holding flank, and Magnet down to about 10 HP as he rips all the way back upstairs, and I imagine he'll be going in for a reset real quick.
Yeah, he definitely has the opportunity to do so with 1.5 minutes left, but it is risky to do it if pressure is coming onto the site. We'll see if Lusty's goo mines as well can kind of help hold things and slow things off a little bit. But a lot of droning coming out. You see drones coming out from Mark and Fox. A lot of position being held here, though. And actually, Magnet doesn't rotate off of it, just takes the drone and holds it, because he's also got his teammate Rizraz on the move now, who was, I believe, covered from that drone because he killed it fast enough.
Still playing at the top of those stairs, waiting for anyone to make their quick entry, but it looks like Reciprocity have their stack in mind, as there's all 5 members pushing in from Study in the top of the south stairs. An impact trick, a little too late, a little too short, not going to connect, as the second set of X-Kairos will detonate onto the wall, affording them a crouch-through hole, and a third set being placed directly above for a walkthrough. Smoke's coming in, asphyxiating bolts, toxic babes, just every disruption, utility imaginable being sent at this one set of breach holes, and they botch the pellets, so they can't sprint through it. They're gonna have to crouch through it and take their time slowly. You still have Magnet who can come in on a flank at any time, and there he goes downstairs. Flashbangs come raining in. The smokes into the vault. Retro will take down Rizraz, though. That's the Valkyrie and a Nitro Cell gone, and there goes Foxy knifing down. It's a flurry of kills for Reciprocity. One for Lusty will down off the man with the diffuser, though. That's Mark, and they've got to recover it. 15 seconds left. Lusty's still tacking on. The diffuser is still bleeding out. It's Lusty alone in a 1v3. No recovery of the diffuser just yet for Reciprocity. They're trying to go for the kill, pushing it against the bar. Lusty for another one, trying to clutch it up. They're trying to stick to revive. What are you doing? The play at the last man alive. He has to push. Lusty, the 1v5 clutch. Fnatic take round number 1 on Villa.
What a defense. The moment they downed Mark, that's the moment they won that round. As soon as they stopped that play, there was such a good execute too. They had the smokes the right place, they had the fire, they made sure to stop everything, they opened it up, they were ready to go for that plant. It was called. As soon as Mark got dropped, everything fell apart. And fighting a man behind that bar is so hard. Lusty just demonstrated why. It is so hard to get someone out from behind there. But it means they can't play that side again, and we go to trophy.
It all starts with Lusty downing Mark as he tried to rush in. That's an incredible series of events where Reciprocity all push Lusty behind that bar one by one. And Magnet again 6-picking to the Cav. Looks like this wants to be a mainstay operator for him instead of a surprising one.
Well, he's still 6th-pick to it, so he didn't give it away, but I think they're going to figure it out pretty quick that he's consistently doing that from now. I mean, it was helpful. He was able to kind of roam around like he was doing with Valkyrie on Clubhouse. So to be fair, he's either doing it with Ella on Consulate, Valkyrie on Clubhouse, or Caveira on Villa. It seems to be he's able to get away with it no matter which one he wants to pick, and it's just down to preference, I guess, per map it seems. Either way, he does like those shotguns.
Making a maze of rotations on the far side as he's got some reinforcements on his aviator walls as well. Looking in towards that studded balcony, and pretty standard trophy setup for the most part. You got the Evil Eyes cutting off visibility, or catching visibility, starting in towards the crucial rotation points, such as the master doorway in the bathroom, in towards astronomy stairs as well. Reciprocity, 5-man push through one direction last time. There wasn't really that solo entity for Reciprocity like we've been seeing on a lot of their attacks. This time around, It was all 5 push one direction, and it came down to Lusty, a T5, a pistol, and a little bit of luck on this side as far as placement of some asphyxiating bolts.
Yeah, they just needed to cover Mark better is what it came down to. It was a great execute. Otherwise, it's just they could not cover him adequately, and I mean, they're going to have to cover well for a plant on this side as well, because you're exposed to a lot of angles potentially when you're, depending on where you go for plant with this, because of the open nature of both sides of the site. Lusty going for setting up as many good mines as he can to try and cover a lot of different approaches. I mean, Legion is such a flexible and useful operator for a lot of these maps, specifically because he can make sure that at least you know where the approach is coming from, because the top floor especially has a lot of different approaches that can really be a problem for you if you're not expecting someone to come there. And that's kind of Magnet's job. So like Magnet plus the goo mines means flanks are going to be difficult for Reciprocity.
Well, early bathroom control here for Skies and Laxing as they push through and drop Claymore for safety. And I guess they're expecting Fnatic to get a little wild here on Villa, and they'll asphyxiating bolt off the rotation up the astronomy stairs, but they're not pushing through with it just yet. The Toxic Babe and reciprocation from Virtue will hold them off at bay, and Foxay will be interrogated. It is an interrogation for Magnet.
Boy.
Foxay downstairs will get interrogated by Magnet as it was just off screen, and Retro, I think this is just outside on the balcony, so he won't be within range of those impacts.
So close.
Just outside on the balcony, outside the window. So another stall tactic here for Fnatic, pulling out the interrogation will reset Reciprocity on their initial incursion into Master.
Man, Magnet, what a problem still. You just need to kill this man early, and the fact that they don't have anything to track him. I mean, they banned their own Dokkaebi. Honestly, that Dokkaebi could have really worked out in their favor. Smokes coming out, though, to set up potentially for an execute or at least to rotate, as Rizraz actually holding a nice tight angle right towards the hole. Again, this is stalling out, 35 seconds left, and one smoke does not lead to a plan.
30 seconds ticking away now, and you can see they're aware of Rizraz's position. Ooh, a double kill coming out for Reciprocity. Laxing and Retro grab one apiece, and now the Man advantage equalizes as Aces will take down Retro, trying to push through the rotate as Skies, who's on 1 HP at the rotate, jumping straight in front of Rizraz. He's going to get 2 of them, trying to go for 3. Skies wins it out on 1 HP, putting down the diffuser. All Magnet has to do is turn the corner on the deployable shield. Oh, he hears him. Sky stands up, but he's killing the time back and forth. All it takes is 1 bullet, and he'll down him off. Magnet, will he go for 2? No, he'll only get 1 interrogation, but he cleans it up with the shotgun. Hits him with a little bag beforehand as well, and Fnatic up 2-0 on Villa.
Like I said, they just need to do something about him. He's such a problem. But that play, as they just fly into the room, going for the kills, just no one from Reciprocity with enough intel to actually make their attacks count. They're just continually being denied their ability to get into the room and actually get the kills. And it's working out so well for Fnatic, who are able to play slightly flexible, but also staying pretty close to site. You're not seeing a lot of super off-site outside of Magnet. And even when he went super off-site, able to return. Laxing, selecting Twitch, probably going to 6th pick over to that Ying. Magnet again teasing the cap can, probably going to 6th pick as well. Laxing did want to hide the Ying at least.
Ooh, he's having fun on the Cav.
Well,
Magnet
it worked.
is not getting off.
I mean, he got that interrogation off. I cannot blame him.
Interrogation and a 1v1 clutch.
Yeah.
He's having fun on the Cav.
This is definitely a more difficult bomb site, though. This could be the one where we finally see Reciprocity take a point. But to be fair, Reciprocity have had a lead most of the time, and this is the first time they're actually looking pretty weak. And this is, again, the map where we expect the Reciprocity to have the advantage, but it's just Magnet being able to do whatever he wants is so working out for Fnatic.
So, after 2 successful defensive rounds consecutively for Fnatic, they will be forced to head down to the bottom floor. And they elect to head to Kitchen. But they do have quite the top hold investment coming out so far. You got Rizraz with reinforcements on that statuary wall. The castle barricades 2 of them. Elected to be put topside, and looks like he'll be doing a 3rd one as well on the double barricade in towards Trophy Room. So, lots of investment topside for the control, and that's a little... It's a little peculiar to me, simply because of Magnet. Don't you want to kind of bait them into that top control and come for that flank as the Caveira instead of hard holding up there and separating your manpower?
I mean, it just comes down to good calls from his teammates, so he knows where the attackers are, and then he can rotate around freely as he wants to. Obviously, they've got the Evil Eyes, but you got to keep in mind, they have a lot of intel. They have Evil Eyes, they have Goo Mines, they have Pulse. So that gives Magnet so much to work with whatever he wants to do, not to mention maybe he gets an interrogation out of it. Now they've got intel on everyone at that point. So this can really work out for them. Again, because the intel doesn't seem to be working out for Reciprocity, their drones not getting in. I think they're just getting denied so many drones and just not managing their drone economy well, to the point where when they go for an execute, they don't know enough about the positioning of the defenders to actually execute efficiently in pre-fire. And the lack of pre-fires, you saw them as they poured into the room last time, really cost them.
Well, Magnet utilizing his Spaz 15 shotgun to open up complete visibility into the tarp room just outside of the objective, and that's where Skies was debating going back and forth between either the walk-in closet on the interior downstairs or to try and go in through tarps, and drones coming out repeatedly onto Virtue, that Pulse player, holding inside of dining room. Cardiac sensor will pick up 2 outside and 1 carrying the diffuser. Asphyxiating bolts come out topside, and Magnet losing a lot of health upstairs. Caught in engagement once again. He's going to rotate all the way down into tarps now and push his way into the closet. I guess you could call it Harry Potter right by the stair holes.
No, not the Harry Potters.
Not the Harry Potter.
Well, Virtue doing a good job of staying alive. He's calling up for teammate. Magnet did take a lot of damage, but he's still alive, and that's really the problem. It is still a 5v5 though, but C4 going to change that quickly, as there goes Retro. Now they've lost their Thatcher, which is surprisingly not being played by Laxing for once. But Magnet is continuing to control this tarp room. He is just sticking around. He's got so many angles to work with, and that pistol, while it has been changed in terms of the way it works, he's been using it very effectively nonetheless, and he's got the Spaz 15 for close range. Fox, though, unfortunately just not finding the holes he needed, but there goes Magnet finally. Sky's doing the work to get him killed, but gets traded immediately by Aces.
Good work here for Fnatic to battle back, and you see it's Foxay just completely removing every single floorboard above. Virtue with another kill though onto Mark, and now 2 low HP attackers remaining. Fox dropping down the Assassin's Creed kill onto Rizraz, but laying prone is Lusty, and they'll both pick up kills as they trade out the Virtue for Lusty. So 3 rounds consecutively for Fnatic on Villa.
Yeah.
Do or die here to send themselves to the winner's bracket.
Yeah, and that sends it straight into a timeout from Reciprocity, and also it sounds like we may have to rehost for a sound issue. So this is definitely going to be an extra timeout, extra long timeout here, as it looks like they're sorting it out with the refs there, trying to make sure they can fix what's going on. Looks like it might have been Virtue that has the sound issue here. But either way, going to take a second to go ahead and rehost everything. Potentially, we'll see if people start dropping out here. It looks like we have 1 dropout already. It might just be just him restarting though. If it's not a general, there are a couple of different sound bugs, but it sounds like the sound bug is just specifically with Virtue, so he'll restart potentially. Maybe just the game, not his whole computer, and we don't have to rehost. So I guess good timing with the tactical timeout.
It's usually just the game when it's the sound bug.
Thankfully, I mean, there are some things that can come up with Zofia or Echo that can affect everyone. So luckily, it doesn't seem like that's been a problem so far, despite Zofia now actually starting to be played. Echo, though, being banned, that is not going to happen in this map.
Well, that's the thing. We've also seen a surprising lack of Jaeger so far on Villa, and yet Zofia's pick has increased over the maps that we've gone through, and yet Jaeger's pick rate on at least Villa here.
It hasn't seemed to made a difference in their win rate from Fnatic, though.
No, they're having a very fun time. Magnet initially flashing the Clash right now as we round out the rest of this timeout and tech issue timeout. So a tactical timeout and a technical timeout.
Yeah.
But we are back underway. Magnet flashing the Clash. And Laxing pulling out the Ash.
The Clash and the Ash. Who's going to 6th pick? He has not confirmed yet, so Laxing considering 6th picking.
4 straight rounds for Magnet on Cav.
I don't blame him at this point. I mean, he did finally get taken down last time, but Laxing was definitely considering 6th picking. You saw how long it took him to confirm, although he might have also been tweaking his loadout because he has not played Ash yet. He might have had a slightly different loadout than he was expecting. So that was more likely than him considering 6th pick, I suppose, at that point. Mark, though, with 0 so far, not really doing as well as we would hope. But you never know. We'll see how things obviously
switch 3 rounds in, and he's the support player.
Absolutely.
For most of the time, unless
I don't buy the support player excuse, but he's proven he can play well as a support player. So it's more just the case of he hasn't seemed to find his groove on this particular map just yet. Lusty's still doing what he wants, though, on this Legion. Seems to be effective for them as well. I mean, they haven't really needed to change up what they're doing on their defense pretty much at all. It seems like the attack's just continuing to be thwarted. Some of it time management, but also some of it just the roaming capability, able to continue to deny map control for Reciprocity. Because when you don't have map control, that itself leads to denial of time, which means you can't execute till you feel comfortable. So.
It also looks like Reciprocity right now are stacking. Ooh, good spot there from Laxing onto the Valk cam that Rizraz had thrown out.
Maybe this will be his round to just Ash Rush.
Maybe, because it looks like Reciprocity are mirroring the last time they attempted to take this site, which was that stack in towards Study, the Study balcony on top of the south stairs.
Watch for the blast!
It didn't really work out for them so well last time because they didn't cover Mark when he ran in for that plant, and that was kind of the downfall last time.
And it looks like the way Laxing might have done it, he might have actually taken out if there was an Evil Eye on that corner of 90. So if you're wondering what he was doing, it looks like that was most likely what he was doing. He was trying to take out any Evil Eye up there. And I like that angle to do so. That's a nice way to approach it because Mag did set up that hatch most likely for himself to drop, and it actually got used against him. But look how antsy this man is. He wants to get in a fight right now. Just someone peek me.
Yeah, and it's really going to come down to the flanks, and you've got Laxing repelled on the 90 window right now up against Louison.
Lax versus Magnet. Here it comes down.
Well, the problem is it won't even down Laxing. It'll just straight up kill him if it's a headshot because it's going to repel.
Oh, the missed shots there from Magnet. That's going to give
lights him up, though.
Yeah.
30 HP remaining on Laxing. Close range against that Louison, but here come the pre-fires coming out from Retro at the end of the hallway, top of the stairs, just QEing back and forth. Retro will get downed all the way down the long hall, and Magnet will claim another victim with that Louison instead of the knife this time. Retro will fall, Laxing on low HP. It's another poor start for Reciprocity in the round.
Well, they are going to open up at least that bit of furniture, so he's not going to be able to use that completely for cover now, but nonetheless, they cannot seem to push him out of this corner no matter how much utility they use. And again, this right here is costing them this round.
Lots of utility being used to try and stall out. Frag grenade going flying into the vault will down off Aces, but not before he's able to pick up the kill onto Laxing. A second frag grenade being launched in, and the second attempt at a revive.
Maybe they need that Jaeger.
Probably need a Jaeger now, as Foxy will clean up aces. It's still a 3v4 for Rec to work their way out of, and you still got Lusty in behind his trusty bar. And this breach hole hasn't been opened up entirely for them to walk through, and Mark is out of X-Cairo, so they're going to have to all push the same doorway, as it'll be Mark breaching first and falling immediately at the hands of Virtue. No re-peek yet as Foxy comes in to recover the diffuser, but he walks right into the waiting arms of Rizraz. It's all skies alone now in a 1v4. Tags Magnet once, but he'll turn back his attention towards Study and moving towards the Aviator door, the same crossfire that everyone on Fnatic had set up and where a majority of the Reciprocity attackers had died previously. It's all but lost here for Skies, and it'll be an 0-4 scoreline for Reciprocity. Unable to even clean up the kill onto the Caveira as they rush in, and Skies will actually get down, so no one cleaning up the final kill. But it's Fnatic on a run right now, unstoppable momentum on Villa, up 4-0.
Okay, well, I'm leaning towards saving Villa strats, not.
Yeah, I don't think Fnatic hates Villa right now.
Yeah, I think they're big fans of Villa at the moment.
I think they're having some fun.
Well, we'll see if they can continue their reign of terror. It's certainly working out for them.
It is on the defensive side. That is something to note on Villa. It does trend, like the majority of the game right now at the highest level trends defensive, and Villa is one of those proponents of skewing the number further towards the defensive side.
Yeah.
So it is on the defensive side.
I guess the exception we had to that was Consulate, though.
Yeah, Consulate was the weird attacking favored one earlier on today. Fnatic are still... They're still doing really well.
I like the Magnet now is 6th picking off the Caveira instead. I think it's pretty obvious like that you're 6th picking probably because I don't know. I mean, this.
Why flash it unless you're going to bring it?
But I don't know. There's the double mind games. He might even just pick it so someone else can 6th pick.
True.
Because he's been doing just fine with it, but I mean he was also doing just fine with Valkyrie on Clubhouse too. So I mean this is Magnet's been on a roll, but also the rest of the team's absolutely been showing up. We saw Virtue get that nice kill when they tried to go for the run into the plant last time as well. Everyone on Fnatic absolutely showing up, and I got to imagine the communication has also been really good this time, and that is really factoring in. Also denying them playing the Jackal seems to have really kind of stunted it. And like I said, had they actually kept the Dokkaebi, that actually would have worked out potentially in Reciprocity's favor. But I guess they just didn't want to deal with it on their defenses. But, you know, so far they're looking like they might be going into those defenses in a pretty huge deficit.
But you can see also Rizraz sick of everyone getting naded out. The Jaeger finally takes a spike in play as Magnet heads back to the op that Rizraz was playing, which was the Valkyrie, so they swap around some roles. No more Caveira in play. They've garnered a 4-0 lead off of that Caveira play from Magnet, and the rest of the team showing out, especially Lusty in that individual superstar holdout in behind the bar.
And Laxing's going to try the Ash again as well. So they're definitely Fox going back to his sledge. They're just trying to lean on some things that might help them because being down 4 right now is not what they were expecting at all. So it's like, let's go ahead and play some roles that we think are going to work a little bit better for us. I mean, it's certainly not working so far, but maybe finally Magnet not playing Caveira for a round will give them one.
Laxing, again, stacking towards the Study balcony, but not with the rest of his team this time, as the objective is on the far side of the map. We will have immediate contention here from Magnet, though, holding inside of Aviator, waiting for anyone to push through that same door that was a kill box last time around. He's also got Lusty on the leash on the far side behind his trusty bar, so nearly identical setups on either side of the map, regardless of the objective, and Foxy will make the solo entry into Bathroom this time instead of with a pair.
Well, Mark's also is droning in front of him, though, so in a way it is a pair, which is working out for him. He's also got his own drone as well, so they're doing a good job trying to coordinate a bit better this time in getting the right intel. Now that they've got some opportunity for pre-fires, though, the question is, can they actually land some of the shots? And I got to wonder if maybe their confidence is off. There's a lot of missed shots coming out from Reciprocity, whereas Fnatic seeming to play off of their confidence because, like it or not, mechanical skill and aim kind of caps out at a point. Everyone has it, but confidence starts to factor in that. Low confidence means missed shots.
Well, here comes the pushing through Study, and Sky's going to grab one, grab two onto Rizraz and Aces, and they both fall in tandem. And that Study completely evacuated from defensive control. Foxy holding the rotations into the Study doors, and you still got Laxing on a flank from behind. This guy's taking some shots from down below as there is bottom pressure. Magnet with a crucial nitro cell onto Mark. Taking a lot of damage again from inside of Study. And Evil Eye has been destroyed now from the sledgehammer, but Retro putting the plant down. Laxing with another 2 kills, and Foxy will clean everything up. It's a sudden storming of the Gulag into Astronomy for Reciprocity, and they draw back 1, and they stop the bleeding momentarily.
Well, we see Magnet lean back on the Caveira now. The one round I don't play it, we lose. I mean, that was a much better execute, though. Like, the push from Skies especially, you saw Fox
there was just energy behind it, man. Yeah. There was force behind that push.
We're taking astronomy.
That's the thing. That's reciprocity in a nutshell, man. That is what they like to do. And
with the psychology stuff, I think winning that round, I mean, honestly, the first 2 kills from Skies, I just felt it. I felt they have this round because that confidence that I was in the middle of talking about when that happened, they had it then. They were like, okay, we can win this round. We've got 2 kills right off the bat from Skies. We know where they are. We've taken the study. We just put all this pressure on them, and we're going to continue to execute. And now they're going to try dining. I am seeing a potential comeback here from Reciprocity.
Maybe last time around it was an interrogation while
that was
attacking this site for
not so great
for Fnatic. While Reciprocity was attacking.
Magnet's going to lean back on it again though and try and go for that second one.
Honestly, though, if Fnatic come away with the 5-1 split at the half, I have a pretty strong feeling that Fnatic take Villa. If we go 4-2, however, we've seen some incredibly close games in the first 2 maps after 4-2 splits.
I mean, again, Reciprocity is the team that will take it to overtime and win it there. I have no doubt in my mind that Reciprocity can potentially do that here on Villa, even if this ends up as 6-1.
They just got to leave themselves some breathing room.
Yeah.
Give themselves a buffer to screw up once or twice, but...
Yeah. Well, they're going to, again, go for Laxing on the Ashe, Fox on the Sledge and everything, just because, well, it worked so well last round. They're going to try and execute on that again. The soft breaching power of both the Ashe and the Zofia, though, will work well against the castle. And I mean, hey, even if they need it, they've got Sledge, so those castle barricades not going to live so long, depending on which utility they want to use to take those out.
The big shock for me last round, though, is that Laxing was self-droning him in, or self-droning himself in as Ashe.
That's pretty typical.
He took 2 minutes to do it.
Yeah.
He waited, like, he wasn't in the building until the last minute started ticking down.
Not a typical Ashe play. Oh, the timing from Skies, but there was a drone and you saw the red ping. Went for the pre-fire, but too little too late. Again, they're not close enough to these drones. And I feel like that's been a big problem for Reciprocity. We see them droning often, but no one behind the drones. And when Fnatic's playing flexible on their positioning, that's not doing you any good. Yeah, it might clear the room for you in terms of forcing them out, but if you lose the drone to do it, you're not getting a lot out of that. Virtue is able to kind of live through this to an extent. He's just calling out intel for his team. Here's who's coming from this direction. Here's how many. I mean, they almost need to pressure him from above at this point, but you've got to be careful of that C4 when you do so.
Cardiac sensor ticking away here for Virtue as he's again relaying all this information. And you saw it was Magnet utilizing an impact grenade in through the Tarp's room closet, which has that soft wall in towards the east stairwell. Laxing, though, will take down Magnet, and there goes the Cav, not losing a single point of damage as Laxing as he rushes through the main hallway just exterior to the objective. Pops the default, will rush back, understanding that he still has a lot of time at his disposal, and he was walking into the waiting arms of Lusty, playing at the bottom of the basement stairs.
Now he's back to droning himself as well, so, I mean, it's working out. Does lose the drone, but now he knows Lusty is there. Might even force Lusty down in the basement, but no. 2 kills, Virtue and Rizraz taking out Skies and Retro. Now Laxing's going to have a bit more work ahead of him.
It's a tandem of UMPs from Rizraz and Virtue that will collect the kills and push things back in Fnatic's favor as Laxing is looking to push his way out of the bike hallway. Turns the corner and Lusty had vanquished his error, walked away from his angle. It's 2 kills for Reciprocity as they storm the gates, and Lusty coming in on the flank. Laxing is ready for it. The quick peeks. It's going to be Lusty going for a flank around as Mark is stopped in his tracks on the plant. Rizraz with a great shot. Foxate darting back and forth on the other side of the bomb, and in the corner again, it's Lusty coming in. Suddenly a 3v2 down to a 1v2. Laxing the Ashe, last man alive, trying to push in. They're both stacked on one another, but on opposite sides of a reinforcement. Lusty will fall. Health advantage on the side of Rizraz, but clearly the weapon advantage on the side of Laxing. Prone in behind a chair, he just misses him. He hears him moving, shuffling back and forth. He doesn't see him through the chair. 20 seconds, he's pinging it out, throwing flashbangs in and trying to disorient Rizraz. A third one will go in as he needs to recover the diffuser or just push straight for the kill. Rushing straight up, but Rizraz! What a kill! Laying prone, the saving grace. Fnatic will take the first half, 5-1. 2 rounds away from setting themselves to the winner's bracket after dropping map number 1.
That round was absolutely the double ump pump. They just destroyed
that. 4 kills with UMPs in that round?
That was impressive. And I mean, Laxing put up a hell of a fight. But at that point, too little too late. Those two early kills that came out from Fnatic really set the tone for that round, and they just started losing that momentum quick. It was a great attempt, and honestly, Mark got so close to getting that plant down. I feel like had he got the plant down, that might have gone a bit better because Laxing would have had a bit more flexibility to go for the kills without being under that time pressure or having to recover the diffuser. But unfortunately, that play by Lusty absolutely saving them. But side switch now, but like you said, that 5-1 spells potential defeat for Reciprocity here on this. You never know, though. They might have as good of a run on defense as we just saw from Fnatic, but it is a very tense, I got to imagine, for the team now because they do not want to be down in losers bracket. I mean, in theory, I suppose that gives you an easier match, but that means you've got to fight against Nip, and Nip are a very strong team. Yes, they got to a bite phase, but Nip are so strong, very often on Lamb, and I don't know how prepared Reciprocity are going to be for them. So it's, I don't know, that's a tough spot to be in if they cannot come back here.
The entirety of Group A is filled with powerhouses. Like you said, FaZe, who take the victory 2-0 over NIP, have looked meh so far in the first half of the season in Pro League, yet we know they have had great runs.
I mean, they got all the way to finals at Rio, so they are definitely
They went to the finals in Rio. They were in the semi-finals of the Invitational last year, or quarterfinals? They played against OG.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly.
Either way, they did pretty well.
They do have some pretty good runs at lands when they can make it there.
Yeah, and that's the struggle.
You still got NIP, who also have had hilariously impressive runs while doing poorly in Pro League as well at lands.
Yeah, but then they'll also do really well this season.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, it's a bit tricky.
And then you got these two teams, and this has been one hell of a match.
Yeah, this is what I expected. This being this, I honestly expected a little bit closer right now. I didn't expect it to be 5-1, but either way, these two teams very evenly matched, it seems, and maybe this is Fnatic's shot to try and make it to out of group stages, and good start for that with Magnet. Early kill on Laxing, who is one of the top fraggers. That's not great here for a potential match point, but Rizraz taking a little bit of damage back for it.
Beautiful droning there from Virtue. He had that lined up the whole time, just being discreet with the drone, Laxing unaware of its presence and his position being relayed in real time. And an easy peek for Magnet to take that and win, especially against an MPX, unless Laxing's hitting that headshot against the M762. Good luck.
And I know these Fnatic guys too are very like they're very pumped right now. They are the kind of team that'll be like, yeah, let's go. You know, like I can imagine Magnet just shouting after that last kill.
Well, we talked about isolating one powerful member, and we mentioned it probably should be Laxing. Yeah. Reciprocity isolate. They did the same thing again. They put 3 people on him, 1 on drone, 2 as guns to hold his rotations, and 1.
Well, they were following their drones. The same the thing Reciprocity are not doing. And that is absolutely working out. Magnet did take a bit of damage, but 25 HP is nothing at this point. As long as he manages to get his utility off, even if he dies at this point, like getting 1 kill and your utility off is absolutely essential here for an operator like Zofia.
Well, pushing in through study now. Thermite charge coming out from Aces, and you can see Rizraz below just has a sea of electronics to choose from. Rack up all the points. Flashbangs go soaring in. It looks like an impact trick will stall out the initial breaching attempt there from Aces. Look to go for it again. Right up against the bar, and ooh, there comes Magnet. Can try and send some stun cannons just to stop the impacts, but it connects regardless. The second impact grenade from, I imagine that would be Retro, and Foxay holding on the stairs will eliminate Rizraz from play. The IQ trying to come for a flank. So leveled up on man count now, but 40 seconds left for the push.
Bomb located by attackers.
Well, so far, looks like the 4v4 in theory, works okay for the attackers, but 30 seconds left. Right now, I think this is where we can finally see another round come back for Reciprocity. Magnet getting stuck by the smoke here and continuing to burn time. Foxay does at least get pushed off.
He's going to go downstairs for the flank through library and coming up those south stairs. He's got 2 attackers waiting for him at the top, but there's not a lot of time left. Virtue is pushing down.
10 seconds to go.
Getting caught on the Legion mines. He tries to come in for the flank from behind. Holding the flank, though, is Retro. In behind the couch now, Sky stands up and will drop Virtue down to a 3v3. Magnet with the knife. The plant is going down into the overtime, but no, the plant gets stopped in the hallway. As it was another flank by the Legion to stall things out. And Reciprocity, again, stop the bleeding, if only for a moment.
It's certainly, definitely, It's still very much, in my opinion, Fnatic's game. But that was a very good defense overall by Reciprocity, at least installing things out, forcing Fnatic to be down to the wire. But even when it was, it really looked strongly like Fnatic could take that. There was so many people left alive on that push. Had they got the plant down, it definitely would have worked out. That was the real struggle, though, is once you have you have man advantage, but if someone's planting, that's one man that essentially is down at that point, and that's really what cost them. Is as soon as that man was going for the plant, got killed during the plant, that left them in a situation where they just had to slug it out at that point because they didn't have enough time left to recover the diffuser, and that's what cost them, was the slow execute. Again, yes, they did a good job with droning and pushing with their drones, and that left them with that manpower advantage, but it was a little too late on that execute. Now it's down to some good play somewhat by Legion. As you mentioned, Fox doing a great job stalling them out and rotating. So we'll see if they can continue to do that, because of course, if not, you know, they might end up in that loser's bracket.
So I had a tweet, I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Uh-oh.
Might have been a week ago. It was the SSG, no, it wasn't the SSG, sorry. It was Reciprocity against, I want to say, Rise in Pro League? Or Orglis. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure it was Orglis. Mark had 0 kills. He played Jaeger 1 round on border. He got 5 kills in a round. He was very, very sick of being support. Similar situation here. Mark with 1 kill through 7 rounds pulls out the Jaeger. Are we going to see another Mark comeback ace? Yeah,
well, at least at the very least, you know, stopping any kind of throwables would be nice, but in this case, no grenades coming out. They've got 2 soft breachers, Zofia and Ash, but no actual grenades, of course, because IQ lost them to give them over to Finka, which is, of course, not being played at all. It is definitely something that we could actually see Fnatic playing later in this tournament. Definitely something they do play sometimes, and something APAC in general are actually comfortable with, as well as Latin America. Not so much from other regions, but it is possible. Either way, though, in this match, I don't think Jaeger's necessarily going to get a ton of work out of the ADSs so much as you're mentioning his gun and Mark's ability to play on that on defense. But they're not playing any kind of super crazy flank the way that Magnet were. And I don't know, maybe that's something that's going to work against them, because that worked out so well for Magnet.
Well, you still have Mark tucked into this closet right at the top of the stairs outside of the Aviator door, and he's going to rotate back into Aviator now. So it looks like Mark is playing the long calling from behind as that double castle barricade will get opened up, and there goes Mark striking, removing Magnet from play down to a 5v4. And there goes the Zofia, so more soft destruction gone. It'll be up to Virtue to get rid of these castle barricades. About to turn the corner into the waiting arms of Lusty, but he turns away into the most in-purpose moment. Turning the corner with the pistol now, and Lusty will shred through Mark to level things out, only losing half the HP in the engagement. Still a health advantage on the side of Reciprocity, although still a lot of time left for Fnatic to make this work.
Yeah, that's what it is at this point is time. They managed to take out Mark, so he's not going to get that ace or anything going on right now, but he did get the 1 kill.
Bomb located by attacker.
It's now Lusty heading out towards the master balcony, as he should actually, I guess, started on breaching open some of these walls in towards master from the balcony into statuary. Looks like Fox is again trying to get a little cheeky here. He's playing inside that master window, waiting to peek for Lusty when he drops down onto the balcony. You see the
army of drones. Yeah, the Mute Jammer not actually even stopping them, but they are going to start to lose those drones. And again, they don't have a gun behind them because Magnet is dead. That's what's going to cost them time, because they're down to 35 seconds and did not follow up any of those drones with bullets.
Well, Fox again falling off to that master hatch. He's going to go downstairs and wait for an astronomy stairs flank. Breaking open the walk-in closet. I mean, there's 20 seconds left. Fnatic need to start going for the push here as 3 stack inside of the double door into statuary, and a shotgun will rip right through Virtue, downing him and finishing him off from Laxing in behind the A-bomb. Flashbangs come in, will not blind Laxing. Turns away from the second one in tandem as well. 8 seconds left, and they have to dive through. The diffuser is lost as he's down on the floor. Laxing will clean it up. Another one pressing through. Rizraz and Flusky with 2. It's down to a 2v2, but no, last man surviving with the diffuser in hand. Can't put it down for Fnatic. And Fnatic, 2 consecutive lost rounds. Reciprocity on a bit of a turnaround here. Well, it's now 5-3. They will call a timeout.
Yeah, they're going to try and stop that momentum. That's the thing. Is the comeback starting to come out? So they're just going to be like, nope, we're going to put a hold on that. We're going to take that timeout, and we're going to try and stop the bleeding, because they are close to being able to close this out. All they've got to win is 2 rounds, but they need to start winning rounds soon, get it to match point, so that they guarantee at least overtime, right? You need to be on that match point so you have that buffer. You say, okay, if they catch up, we go to overtime, no big deal. But Reciprocity, they win in overtime. I mean, the only reason they lost last map, right, is they didn't go to overtime. That's what it is. They're blessed in the overtime, even if they lose the coin flip in a sense. We'll see, though, how they defend dining. That was a bomb site that actually worked every time, surprisingly, for Fnatic, despite it being not a great bomb site. Either way, though, we'll see how they defend it. Honestly, though, I gotta say, these defensive rounds have been pretty close for Reciprocity. I don't see them coming back, because even the rounds that they've won, which has been both of them, just Fnatic have gotten so close to closing them out, and it's down to a lot of gunfights being lost due to them feeling kind of rushed at the end. If they can give themselves enough of a buffer and a little bit of man advantage, along with saving a few drones that dead players can watch, I feel like they can close this out. They have the manpower, they have the aim, they're winning a lot of gunfights. It's just the desperation plays to stick that plant down on the site. You saw that last time. Even with Laxing getting downed, he still was putting enough pressure on them that they were getting hurried and getting pressured back, because they were giving the opportunity for Reciprocity players to come back to retake site, even when Laxing got downed, and just continue to hold off against that desperation. Again, that time management. Yep. It's difficult, and that's why it'll be interesting. So, speaking of interesting, Ace is at least teasing the Finka, something I mentioned that Fnatic will do, but they will 6-pick off of it. Skies as well, though, will go for the 6-pick. What is he going to pick? Mute. All right. So Thatcher will be able to help a little bit with Mute as well. But Dining Kitchen will be interesting to see how this goes here, because it will be effective to take out those mute jammers to make sure you can get some intel to kind of push into the dining room area. But it's very close to an open doorway, and I don't know. I feel like the Pulse was a little bit better play coming out last time on the defense from Fnatic, because they were able to call out where those pushes were coming from a lot more effectively, whereas we're not going to see that. And they're going to be a bit more dependent on the Castle and the Evil Eyes to slow things down.
It looks like Reciprocity mirroring some of what Fnatic were bringing on this specific objective defense last time around. They're going to be investing heavily in top control up towards Master and Statuary and Trophy.
Yeah.
You've got the castle barricades coming out from Mark. You've got multiple reinforcements. Laxing taking a little bit of team damage in prep as well. So I guess it's been a constant theme for both sides, really. Ooh, good spot on the drone there from Magnet drone instead of the clock.
Well, he's going to have to tear down one of those castle barricades. Yeah. Set it back up, or...
It seems like either there was an improper setup, they called the wrong...
It was probably just a late rotate they were not as prepared for yet.
Yeah.
I mean, Jaeger has a lot of setup you have to do. So. Absolutely. Because I gotta imagine he was carrying barb.
Yeah.
I don't know, that really multiplies the amount of things you have to do. 2 reinforcements, your barbed wire, your ADSs. It's a hard knock life.
Well, Magnet will make his entry in through the basement, mirroring a little bit of what we saw at USN from Canadian.
Yeah.
Having fun and
that was always
way
interesting.
through the basement every single time.
Worked sometimes, didn't work other times. That mute jammer actually did a good job of denying his ability to spot upstairs. Now he's
oh my!
The question is, did he hear him?
That timing.
Oh, that. Yeah, nice.
With a lifeline, but Retro will clean up the kill onto Magnet, and that it's very unfortunate. Virtue has made his way all the way into Tarps and gets shredded from behind and finished off by Mark. Now as Lusty is also breaching his way in. Oh my god, it's all down to Lusty in a 1v5. Everyone on Fnatic just tried to storm the objective and got shredded for it.
Pretty sure that was the shortest round we've had so far.
It was the easiest round of Reciprocity's lives.
Yeah. I mean, after Retro got that kill, it just seemed like everyone was like, all right, forget it. Let's just go in. Reciprocity looking a little more comfortable now that they're coming ahead on their defenses. So we're again seeing this continued mirror of, well, we saw a near perfect, well, we did see a perfect mirror up till overtime on the first map on Consulate where it was 4-4 of attack. Saw pretty good mirroring on Clubhouse, but eventually going out in favor of Fnatic. But looking like we could see the mirror again. If it comes back to 5-5, then it's whoever can continue that momentum. Now, Fnatic have already called their timeout, so they cannot continue to try and stop the momentum. And I don't imagine Reciprocity are going to call a timeout unless they really need it, if they haven't already. I don't recall if they've called their timeout on this map yet.
I think they did when they went down 4-0. I believe it was Rack a couple times.
That makes sense, yeah. So many maps.
I'm also just really confused about that round as a whole from Fnatic.
I mean, to be fair, like, it started to work with Virtue. He thought he was going to get in there and rush it, but it just, I got shut down fast after that.
But C4 you have Aces flexing the Finka in prep.
Yeah.
And then they 6-pick off the Finka.
I mean, that does telegraph a rush already that they didn't even, like,
yeah.
Finka for. It is a little mysterious why you would do that.
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to telegraph the Finka and then six-pick off it, don't then still rush, because you don't have the operator that would help you the most in a rush situation.
Lesson learned for Fnatic as they see their lead slowly creeping away.
It's been small mistakes back and forth. Again, time management on the attacking side for Fnatic, not quite up to par, but we also saw that from Reciprocity on Villa. It's just been a story of these teams not having enough time to site execute on all 3 maps.
Yeah, Magnet has been definitely a bit hit and miss with the Sophia as well. Like, he's definitely had some good rounds, but he's also seeming to struggle a little bit in terms of he's not getting the advantage he's hoping for. You saw last time with just that bad timing on the lifeline. I mean, it was a nice idea, but I like that they follow their drones, but they're seeming to not have enough intel before when they execute, just because they're getting caught in flanks and crossfires on some of those drone plays. They're just, I mean, they're not able to actually get like enough pre-fires or anything to really justify a lot of their plays right now.
Just doing some mental math on the amount of rounds we've done.
Jeez.
35.
Well, it sounds about right.
36th round of this best of 3.
I don't know if it's stopping anytime soon. I mean, at least it didn't go to overtime on Clubhouse as well.
Yeah. 8-6 on Consulate in the favor of Reciprocity, 7-5 in the favor of Fnatic on Clubhouse, and it's currently 5-4 Fnatic on Villa heading into the 10th round on Villa. Breaches going to be coming out now for Aces right up against the bar wall. Will it be impact tricked? It will. Second time's the charm for Retros. He'll be able to shut that down, and the bar wall will remain safe. But he's out of impacts now, and a second exothermic charge will be placed upon the wall.
Fox is coming in. He's calling in the second shift with the impacts. Ooh.
Good Valkyrie camera there from Laxing to spot out the pressure on the stairs from the backside, and that's Lusty as the Hibana. Ace is taking a lot of damage upstairs as well, trying to facilitate this breach in through from Study.
I mean, at least he burned up the 2 impacts, but he also only has 1 thing left. However, Hibana still has an X-Cairo as well, so they have some utility to make it work, but this is burning up 2 minutes already trying to make it happen, so even if they get it open, it's going to be, again, another desperate attack play.
Well, Mark playing at 90s, watching the camera, waiting to pick the perfect moment to peek in towards Rizraz. Made his way in, but is unaware of this. He's playing up against the pool table doorway. Got double stacked on the 90 window for Fnatic as the attackers, and there's 30 seconds left, and it's a 5v5. Oh, 4v5 nice. As I say that now, as Virtue will take down Laxing.
I mean, that really cost them right there. I thought Laxing was going to make that rotate really work, jumping down like there. But now having the man advantage, as long as they don't get desperate again, but 15 seconds, no smokes available, this is going to be desperate.
All trying to send in through the doorways into the objective. Magnet gets 1, but a double poke back now from Reciprocity. Trades again, leaving it at a 2v1. It's Virtue alone, and he wins it out inside of the vault. Trades back and forth from a 4v4 to a 1v1 in a heartbeat, but Virtue remaining composed and rushing through the vault will give Fnatic match point, series point, heading into round number 11 on Villa.
This is definitely a great position for them to be in because now they have that guaranteed overtime at the least. They have, I mean, had a lot of good rounds. Like I said, those rounds that they lost on attack were very close for them. They still managed to make it. That play, though, by Virtue, that was absolutely the first to kill on Laxing. Then the way he rotated up to be able to help his team, dodging the shotgun blast and getting the kill, just pushing on into gun vault after the pressure on that. There was just, I don't know, defense at that point needed to get the right timing. I mean, they needed to be pre-firing at that point and able to catch Virtue because those Ash rushes are brutal like that, especially if he's feeling on fire like that. There's the Capitao coming out from Magnet, finally changing to a different operator as it's just not been working so well for the most part on Sophia, but at least they did win that round. You see fairly similar kills from most of the teams. Ace is the only one actually a little bit low, and honestly, he's a great player, so it wouldn't surprise me to see him bring back some more kills and kind of even things up.
Well, we'll round 37 of this best of 3. It's 37 out of a maximum 45 rounds.
And if you can't hear, my voice is already shot, so this is going to be an interesting week. I'm just going to be typing up by the time we hit playoffs. Just gonna tweet out what's happening.
I don't know what it is, man, but you, me, and the Reciprocity roster, we just love going deep on games for some reason at LAN tournaments.
It's been interesting. So we'll see though how deep they get, because being on that map series point is not a great position to be in pressure-wise, especially for a team that is really going to be expecting to be doing much better on this map in particular. It's well done on Fnatic to save this map in terms of banning it all season, but now the cat's out of the bag for future maps, or future matches, regardless of whether that be in the losers bracket or the winners bracket.
Virtue appears to be angling in for an entry down below. It's an Aviator and Games hold once again coming out for Reciprocity, looking to repeat a little what they had last round as it came down to a 1v1. It was a 4v4 with 13 seconds left until all the kills came flying. Rushing straight in is Magnet. He spots the Evil Eye, but he's going to drop a Claymore right at the door and wait for the Evil Eye to try and zap it. You have to break someone to take rid of this. And that's going to be Virtue down below, usually going to use that Ash charge to send up to the Ash. And
there we go. Now we can stop watching it.
There goes the Evil Eye, and now they can start breaching out the wall from Study. And they've only expended a minute so far, and you're still waiting for that Laxing flank. You got Fox and Laxing primed to go right now, both above the stairwell.
Again, it's going to be that timing. If they can time it right, they do have at least the Valkyrie cameras, but they don't have a ton of other intel because now they've lost at least one of the Evil Eyes. There is smoke coming out from the Capital, but that's where they use the Evil Eyes to get through it. Here's the impact tricks coming out. If he succeeds in that, which he has not done, there we go. That is going to really hurt this defense. I mean, yeah, you can defend behind that bar well, but that is not the right position to be in right there, and he's going to rotate. This is not looking good for Reciprocity.
That's enormous for Fnatic to be able to open up that wall into the bar. Just the missed impact trick there from Retro, and he'll have to dart away and evacuating the position, the strongest position in that room behind that bar. You can see Fox a quick peeking towards the Study balcony, but Rizraz holding his position, holding firm, and it looks like we're going down to another war in the last 30 seconds. With a minute remaining, spotting out some holes in the floor and some feet through them, but Skies will actually pick up the first kill onto Magnet, and there goes the Capital. He's still playing up against the bar, but he's in the myriad of a crossfire from the hallway door and the breach hole in behind the bar. Fnatic really need to start storming and overpowering Skies and Mark inside of Games Room.
That Capital pick, though, was probably the most important pick they could have got, because now they can't go for any kind of smoke plant. And anytime you don't have the ability to do a smoke plant, you now have someone who's going to be in a very exposed position, and that means everyone has to cover him as well as possible, especially if you don't have time for a second attempt at the plant.
No more breaching rounds remaining for Virtues. He's down below. The last Toxic Babe will expend, and Mark will be downed in behind the pool table as Virtue pushes the corner. He's got two defenders who can creep up on him on 90, but Flashbang's come out with 15 seconds. Here comes the hailstorm of bodies flying. In behind the bar still. Virtue turns away momentarily as he needs to be the initial ingress, but Rizraz will shut down Skies as well. Mark is still down. Aces is getting the diffuser down. Great flicks here from Virtue back and forth. Just lighting up the backside as Retro tries to press through. The shotgun will list, and it's a team kill, but Retro will stop Lusty from planning. That was just a mess for Reciprocity, and again, the 15-second 5v5, 4v4 pushes will send us to the last possible round of regulation.
Yeah, that loss of the Capital, I mean, that was the only kill they even had against them, but that was the most important one that really made that a desperate play. They had pretty good coverage, though. That was a good attempt at making the plan happen, and yeah, despite a team kill, I mean, that shows the desperation as well from the defense, because they're up against the wall. If they lost that round, they're out, down to losers bracket. So all they needed to do was just really stop the plant from going down because time was so low. And in doing so, getting a team kill just shows both teams are getting really nervous at this point to try and close things out or to catch things up, because now it's one round away from Reciprocity possibly taking this to overtime, where they tend to win. But the Blackbeard now coming out from Aces on that 6th pick is going to make things interesting. So Blackbeard and a Capital can really put a lot of pressure on team, combined with Virtue still playing that Ash. I expect some aggression combined with angle holding here that it's going to down. I mean, we might even see Reciprocity having to do some jump outs to win this.
So, just an update for everyone out there who's curious. Is Space Station took the first map against Rogue on Villa.
Wow.
That was a 7-4 scoreline.
So that Villa going unexpected as well.
We're still on game number 1 over here on the B stream on Bravo.
Yeah.
And they're halfway done game number 2. This has been a 3.5-hour game.
Yeah. I had a feeling we were going to be on the stream that was going to be mostly 2-1s.
Yeah.
We were going to be on the stream that was mostly 2-0s. So, to be fair, though, I do expect Rogue to come back probably on the second map. But either way, that's another game, another time, another universe. This one still...
It could be done right here in the next 2 minutes and 45
I don't even
seconds.
know at this point. This is definitely a team that will... I mean, they got here to this event off of overtimes. So...
Will Rec be able to push it the distance? This has been a long, long game. And we're still going. Magnet will push in again as the initial ingress in towards Study, and the drones come out abound everywhere for Fnatic. The defense is over towards Statuary, and oh, the feet of Mark again will be spotted out by Rizraz. And this time around, I don't think Fnatic will allow him to go for his nice little stall tactic, wait at the top of the stairs, and then duck back into Aviator for the flank. I imagine they'll be expecting him to attempt it later on and catch him off in the cross.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to pull it off. We'll see if Magnet's able to live a little bit longer this time, get some more use out of his cap tower. We did see him use his smoke pretty early before he died last round. Might have been a little bit premature, might have been just to get some positioning for his team. But it is risky to use one smoke early because 2 smokes is a much more effective cover for a plant, especially if that covers 2 cross angles, then that prevents good pre-firing of the spot itself. But an early kill there from Rizraz, who's actually already at the top of the scoreboard for his team, taking it now to 11 kills. Doing quite well as the Thatcher, something that Laxing also excels at. So it's always nice to see frag-heavy Thatchers.
Beautiful start for Fnatic to try and close this thing out once again. And Virtue waiting this time to open up that double door, as last time they opened it up, it turned into a flurry of bullets coming at them from Reciprocity with the last time they defended this objective. So playing the patient game, waiting it out, and also a sea of Legion mines awaiting the entry of Fnatic as they all try to press into the top of these east red stairs. And Foxay is laying in wait with many a soup can.
Yeah, we heard Magnet step on one as well, took a little bit of damage. That's going to give away the presence, but there's a nice trade as Skies gets Magnet, but Virtue trades it right back. Fire not actually getting the kill on Fox.
Stuck in the corner and behind the statue trophy. Now Retro double peeking onto Foxay's door, and he's moved straight up against the door frame with a hole right underneath. No one playing the verticality angle from Fnatic though, but Rizraz has it pinched off from inside of Master. A double push in, and here comes the crouch walking Virtue around the corner. Foxay will fall. It's a 4v2. A beautiful spot to be in for Fnatic, looking to close things out on Villa. Oh, Retro just missing the shots as they try to push into the Master doorway too, and it's Laxing and Retro stacked on one another. They both fall. Rizraz and Lusty close it out, and Fnatic, the APAC representative in Group A, will take the game 2-1. Another 7-5 win, this time on Villa. Fnatic will move on to the winners match, and Reciprocity, after taking the first map on console at 8-6, will lose Clubhouse and Villa consecutively by an extremely narrow margin.
Well, they got to feel good about picking up Virtue. That was the big change here. Although both teams had one roster change, right? And they had Skies picked up as well as Virtue picked up. So both these teams making a change that worked very well in terms of getting it down to the wire. But Reciprocity coming out ahead is exciting for APAC. Now, APAC had always been struggling in the past. They came out very well in their last showing in Rio. But everyone questions, can they repeat
that kangaroo?
That kangaroo is the secret to success.
That's the secret, baby.
All the luck is in that pouch. They are definitely showing up for APAC, and I think that's going to make a big difference here. I got to imagine Norango as well is going to be feeling some motivation from that, as well as Mantis. So this is looking pretty good for APAC to potentially at least get one team out of groups, because that is always a struggle for them. You see, they're almost, I don't know if they're even excited, just so exhausted after how long that was, and they've got so many more matches to play to get through this tournament. Obviously, we'll see